Okay, everyone, this is number 5 on the Conics review worksheet. And the question says, or the problem I should say, 4x squared minus y squared minus 40x minus 10y equals 69. I skipped a step. I already added the 69 to the other side. This is a hyperbola, and the reason why you should be able to tell it's a hyperbola right away is subtraction. Subtraction overrules addition, with the exception of the parabola, but that's a completely different case. So I'm going to complete the square, and I'm going to complete the square by grouping the x's and the y's, and so I'm going to skip a step there. So 4x squared, you have to take out the coefficient of 4. That leaves me with x squared minus 10x. I took negative 40x and I divided it by 4. I'm going to leave space to complete the square. Minus the quantity y squared, be careful here, plus 10y equals 69. Okay, so I'm going to complete the square, and to complete the square, we take half of b, which is negative 10, half of it squared, which is positive 25. And I'm going to do the same thing for y. So for the y, it's going to be b, which is 10 over 2 squared, which is also 25. I inadvertently closed that parenthesis. Sorry about that. You got to be super careful when you complete the square, because if you add it to the left, you have to add it to the right. That's what algebra is all about. Algebra is all about balancing. Okay, so I can't give Titus a treat without getting Portia a treat, because she's going to freak out. You have to balance the equations. You have to balance the doggies. Okay, 4 times 25 is 100. Be careful. Distribute. And then you are subtracting 25 with the y's. If you distribute, the negative 1 becomes minus 25. Alrighty, so now I'm going to factor. That's the whole point of completing the square. And I get 4 times the quantity x minus 5 squared minus the quantity y plus 5 squared, and that I believe is going to equal 144, which is so nice. If it's not a perfect square, it's doable, but the numbers just get to be a total pain in the butt. So I'm going to divide everything by 144, and that is because in standard form, the equation must be equal to 1. So divide by 144, divide by 144, divide by 144, and you're going to laugh at me. If I was in class, you would say, Miss Babiak, 144 divided by 4. I'm going to totally mess this up. I think it's 36. 144 divided by 4 is 36. I did it the old-fashioned way. So you get x minus 5 quantity squared over 36 minus the quantity y plus 5 squared over 144, and that equals 1. You know that the center of this hyperbola, so center is at 5, negative 5. You know, you're going to see sometimes it's going to be written this way, but sometimes, and the way that I prefer to do it, it doesn't matter, is I prefer to write it as x minus 5 over 6 quantity squared minus y plus 5 over 12 quantity squared equals 1. Sorry, it got kind of messy there. All right, this hyperbola opens in the x direction because y is the negative. Negative. Y is the negative term, x is the positive term. So this hyperbola is going to open left and right. Okay, so, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to draw this graph. And so far, my graphs have been awful. Let's find everything first before I have to torture you guys with the graph. Asymptotes. Y minus y1 is equal to plus or minus m times the quantity x minus x1. Okay, well, you know what point-slope form. You need a point. Well, you know the point. The point you know is the center. So this is going to become y plus 5 equals plus or minus rise over run. Always, always, always for slope, rise over run. So that is going to be the r radius over the x radius. I don't care which way it opens. It's always rise over run. It's always y radius over x radius. Okay, 12 over 6, which is dose x minus 5. Alrighty, I know my center. I know my asymptotes. Let me find the vertices. So because this hyperbola opens in the x direction, my x radius is 6. So from the center, I'm going to go right 6 and left 6. So my vertices, 5 plus 6 is 11, negative 5. And then 5 minus 6 is negative 1, negative 5. Okay, I'm going to hold off on finding the foci. I'm going to try and graph this without making a total mess, but of course I'm going to make a total mess. Here we go. All right, I'm going to try super hard here. And that didn't work at all. Oh, let's try that again. This thing's awesome. It's got a nifty eraser on it. It's not as good as a whiteboard, though. With the whiteboard, I could just use my fingers. Okay, and then we're going to go this way. Okay. Center, where's the center? I already lost it. 5, negative 5. It's going to be off because of the way I drew the lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. I still have yet to figure out how to just draw a point. This is going to be awful, you guys. I'm so sorry. And then I'm going to go right 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm going to go left 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. The asymptotes have a slope of 2. Oh, that's up to right 1. I think it's going to be easier. You know what? I think I should. I'm thinking if I should make my increments by 2s. I wonder if that'll be easier. Yeah, I'm going to change the increments to go by 2s. I think that's just going to be easier with the numbers being as big as they are. So let's change that and let's go by 2s. And I'm going to count this first increment as 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8. I don't know how to make it. Okay, be patient with me here for a second. I'm going to try and make the point a lot smaller and see if that works. 2, 4. This should be. This does not help. Ugh. I need to just get graph paper whiteboard. 2, 4, 6, 8. All right. This is going to be a major-ish. This is going to be a major-ish graph. My favorite math term. It's not heart surgery. Ish. 5, negative 5. 2, 4, 5, 2, 4. And then, let's see. Vertices. 2, 4. So I say the vertices were at 11, negative 5. So they're here. Ish. And it's here. Ish. Then the asymptotes are at, slope is 12 sixths, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, 2, 4, 6. So depending on who you had last year, I know Miss Lou made you draw the rectangle. If you had Mr. Simon, I think he made you draw the rectangle. If you had me, I didn't make you draw the rectangle. Again, this is 100% optional. Some students like to put the rectangle in, just gives you a better idea of what's going on with the center and the vertices and the asymptotes. Let's see, boom, 2, 4, 6, it's like here. So between now and the next time we have to graph, I will get better at this. But you know what? The next thing we're going to do is calculus, and you don't need to know how to graph hyperbolas for calculus. Not bad. Not bad. Okay, there it is. And then the foci, so for a hyperbola, let me move this up a little bit. For a hyperbola, the foci a squared plus b squared equals c squared. You're adding, it doesn't matter, y radius plus x radius plus y radius, whatever, it doesn't matter. So our, oops, just kidding. We have 36 and 144. So 36 plus 144, 36, 180. Okay, so that is your focal distance. Oh, I don't have you guys here to help me. 180 divides by 36. No, it doesn't. And I don't have a calculator for me. Okay, you're going to have to wait 2 seconds. I have my phone off to the side. And I'm going to find out what 180, I think 180 does divide by 36. 180 divided by 36. It is, it's 5. 180 is 36 times 5, so this is 6 root 5. That's my focal radius. So from the center, I'm going to move to the right 6 root 5, and I'm going to move to the left 6 root 5. So 6 square root of 5. Square root of 180 is 180, 144, 12. A little bit more than 13. Pretty sure it's a little bit more than 13. I'm going to do this in a different color. Let's do blue. So it's about, let's see, what did I say it was? A little bit more than 13? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12-ish. And then 2, 4. I mean, you guys, I'm totally approximating. Just remember that the foci always fall within the curves. Foci always fall within the curves. So as an ordered pair from the center in the x direction, so my x coordinate of my center was 5. This is going to be 5 plus or minus 6 root 5, comma, negative 5. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a hyperbola. So I appreciate your patience. If you have questions, it's probably best to send me a reminder or post it on Classroom. But there you have it.